Here we go. Hey everybody. So my name is Caylinn. I am a sophomore this upcoming year with a major in psychology and a minor in Hispanic studies. So today we're going to be meeting with Tyler from the Office of Student Life, and we're going to start talking about how to keep pushing on when times are tough during this pandemic. So we're just waiting for a few more people to join. I see everybody is joining. Just giving it a few more minutes. So, how's everybody's day going? Everybody's day is going well. Hopefully. I'm kind of like burning up. Here we go. Let's see. Waiting for a few more. Yeah, it's definitely warm outside.
Yeah, I was debating if I wanted to be inside or out. For now, I've decided I'll be inside.
uh, I know. I figured since it's nice and sunny out here, just why not come outside? But it's too late. I already made my decision.
There.
I'm kind of sweating a little bit, but it's okay.
It's
Okay,
all
now
part
I
of
can
summer.
see. So, how are you doing today, Tyler?
Overall, good. You know, a little sleepy. I had to take a quick power nap for 5 minutes or so before this. Make sure my beauty rest had all gotten in for the live stream. How about
Yeah.
you?
I'm doing good. Oh my gosh, I'm like sweating. Jesus. Oh man. I'm trying to see if Erin is here. I can't find her. I think this is Erin. I don't know. Erin, if you're here, can you like wave?
Aaron Wade?
Yes.
Or yeah, I see Aaron Wade is viewing.
Okay.
E Wade 77.
Oh, I see her. So Tyler, I'm gonna pull Erin today for a quick second. We're just gonna do a quick introductions, and then once we finish with her, then I'm gonna pull you back up, and then we'll start getting started with questions.
Sounds good.
Sounds good. Okay, let me find her. There we go. Let's see. So Tyler, I'm gonna have you. Can you exit the live?
Yeah.
Or okay, there we go. Okay, now we're waiting for Erin. Hope everybody's doing good today. Hey, Erin.
Hey,
How are you?
good. How are you?
Oh my god, I'm like sweating.
I know it's so hot. I was outside earlier. It's crazy.
Oh my gosh. Earlier it wasn't too bad, but now I'm like, wow.
Yeah, I
I have to
got
turn my
sunburn.
vision a little bit, but it's gonna be okay.
Yeah.
Don't mind me. So, Erin, I'm gonna have you do like a quick introduction for yourself, stating your major. If you're a minor in something, you can add that into, and I guess quick advice for like freshmen coming in this year.
Awesome. So I'm Erin Wade. I am a senior majoring in accounting in the College of Business. It's my second year being an orientation leader. Absolutely love doing it. Definitely had to adjust this year, but it's still fun. Some advice for incoming freshmen is really get to know your professors. I know it's probably going to be a little bit harder with like having it online and everything, but shoot them an email, introduce yourself, tell them a little bit about you, like what you're thinking of your major being, just general stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Get a conversation going.
Yeah.
The professors are really great and attentive, but especially if they already know you a little bit. They're a lot more willing to help you, and they might go a little bit extra for the students that they know better. And it might lead to a recommendation letter down the road. So that's always really good to get to know them on the first day.
Okay. I remember like my freshman year, I was so nervous. Like for the first semester, I didn't go to anybody's office hours because I was so scared. But
yeah,
I buckled down and started going to different office hours, and I found those very helpful.
Definitely.
The professors was not as scary as I thought they were going to be, so that helped a lot. And they were there for when I had like different situations going on. They were very understanding. So
yeah,
if you guys are watching, visit your professor your office hours, even if I think they might have office hours online now. I'm not exactly sure, but
yeah, but definitely message them if they don't.
Yeah, right. Just message them if they don't. So, Erin, I'm gonna ask you a quick icebreaker. It's like, would you rather this or that? Put those up right quick. So, would you rather play mobile games or console games?
Computer games, so neither.
Interesting. I'm more of a like PS4 person, like a console.
Like I have a Switch, but I normally just do it on my PC. So
That's pretty cool. What about Facebook or Twitter?
ooh, probably Facebook.
Facebook. That's interesting. New clothes or new phone?
New clothes.
New clothes. Yeah, that's an
Yeah,
interesting.
I love shopping.
That's same here. Same here.
Yeah, the phone's just a one-time thing.
What about cake or pie?
Ooh, that's hard. It depends on the kind, but probably apple pie.
Apple pie. I just had apple pie the other day. It was good.
Yeah, I love it.
Oh, what about either? How about would you rather watch football or basketball?
Football, hands down.
Oh, I see Roman in the chat said cake. Honestly, I don't know. I barely eat cake and I barely eat pie, so I'm not sure. But they're both pretty good.
Yeah, like I'll eat whichever's there.
What about big party or small gathering?
Ooh, it kind of depends. I don't like really rowdy big parties, but so probably small, but
Okay.
big can be fun sometimes, but I'm definitely an introvert, so it can be overwhelming.
Yeah. A few more. Would you rather jog or hike?
Hike, definitely.
Me too. I am not a runner
Prettier.
at all. I am not. I would
Yeah.
rather hike than run.
And you can't take pictures when you're jogging, so.
Yeah, that's true. What about, would you rather wear glasses or contacts?
Probably glasses.
Mm-hmm.
I'm scared of contacts.
Contacts are not that bad. I'm actually wearing contacts right now.
Oh, okay.
It's not
I feel
that
like you
bad.
can get
You're
used
not
to
like
them.
really touching your eyeball. You just, I don't know, you just put them in there.
Kind of put it on.
But I agree. Glasses are so much easier. You just put them on your face and keep going.
Right.
About
The only thing would be like during the summer if you got like sweaty, you know, it could slide down, but
like slide off and everything. Oh my gosh.
right.
What about hamburger or taco?
Ooh, those are so like different. Like I definitely have to be in the mood for like if I'm in the mood for one, I'm not gonna be in the mood for the other. So both.
Okay. So that's all for the icebreakers. I'm gonna pull Tyler back up so we can get started with the different questions. Say bye to everybody, Erin. You did a great job.
Bye. Have fun.
Thank you.
Bye.
All the way. Oh my gosh. Okay, there we go. All right, so I'm going to be pulling Tyler back up from Office of Student Life. If I can find him. There we go. And he shall be loading. Hey, Tyler.
Hello again.
Welcome back.
Thank you. Thank you.
So, similar with Erin, I'm going to do a quick icebreaker for you is the same thing, this or that, but just with different questions.
Hmm.
Would you rather, okay, so when sleeping, right? Would you rather use a fan or no fan?
Oh, fan.
No fan?
Definitely a fan.
Oh, fan.
Yeah.
Yeah, me too. I don't know. Maybe I use it for like the noise. I can't really go to sleep in complete quiet,
Mm, true.
but
Yeah, and I like it because it keeps the energy costs lower.
yeah,
Um, yeah, so it keeps you much cooler. You don't have to worry about the air conditioning being as cold, and that bill adds up real fast.
it does. What about a sweater or a hoodie?
Oh, yeah, that's a good. So I think I would probably say hoodie, but
Mm-hmm.
I don't get to wear them very often
Mm-hmm.
because, like, at work, it's not really appropriate to wear a hoodie for me.
Yeah.
Uh, so I'll wear sweaters pretty often in the winter for work.
Okay, that's pretty cool. What about a paper book, like a regular book, or an ebook?
I think paper. Like, there's just something to be said about like having that tangible book in front of you.
It's the experience. I feel like it makes reading even better.
Yeah, exactly. It's so different scrolling through.
Yeah. All right, so Tyler, I'm gonna start getting to the questions. I'm gonna ask you 10 questions about like different advice you have for freshmen and overall just different advice. You ready?
Hmm. Yep.
All right. So, how would you suggest getting to know your professor when classes are online and there are no in-person hours?
Yeah. So I think just like y'all had been talking about earlier,
Mm-hmm.
it is still just as important to connect with your faculty.
Yeah.
Send maybe a quick email just to introduce yourself, say why you're interested in the class.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, but then I think too, visiting them during their virtual office hours just to get to know them. Like was mentioned earlier, if you take an effort or put in effort to get to know your faculty members, they're more likely to provide you support because they know you, and it's a little bit easier to provide support to someone that they know more personally.
Right.
So visiting them in digital or virtual office hours, if they don't have scheduled hours, they would
Mm-hmm.
have by appointment. And so
Yeah.
definitely reach out and say, hey, I'd like to connect and get to know you a little bit better, talk through just some questions I have about class, but then also use that time to um, learn a little bit about their research interests and what got them into teaching on whatever the topic is that they do,
Mm-hmm.
especially if that's an area that you're particularly interested in professionally.
Oh yeah.
They are a great resource on folks within the community as well as just like how to get to where you want to go.
Yeah, that's a great answer. Like I said before, I was like terrified my first semester. Um, I don't know, like when I was like in high school, you would hear different stereotypes about professors, how like they're there to fail you, they're much harder than the teachers then.
Right.
But like once I got a feel of college itself and started getting to know my professors, I found out like they're human too. They're not
Yeah,
robots. They're very understanding, very patient. Like as long as you put the effort forward, they will try to meet you halfway. So
definitely. Yeah, I think that's one of the most common like misconceptions and false or fake news, I guess, of the high school teachers is that once you get to college, your professor won't care.
yeah.
They care, it just looks a little bit different in how they care.
Mm-hmm.
And so not being afraid to turn to them for support and advice because they can't support you if you don't let them know that you need support.
Right.
And the reason that most of the faculty who work at UM-Dearborn chose to work here is because they love the feel of the community and they love working much more closely with the students. Whereas larger campuses, you're going to have TAs and things. And so the faculty don't get to interact with you quite in the same way.
Right.
They chose to work here because they get to work one-on-one with the students.
Yeah. Yeah. Professors are awesome. Let me just say that.
They are.
For the second question, what advice would you give students in regards to making new friends in the online community?
Yeah, that's a great question. And it's something that our office is working on constantly right now is finding ways to still build community for new students and continuing students to make those strong connections and build those lifelong friendships that college is known for, right? And so we have a whole swath, a big portfolio of programs for new student engagement that will still be operating just as we normally would have operated, except virtually. So we've got our Cruise to Success program for incoming first-year freshmen to connect with other incoming students, learn about resources, strategies for success overall, and those who complete that are recognized for their commitment to success. And we actually have a similar program for incoming transfer students called Model T, Model Transitions, to learn about what is different about UM-Dearborn versus their past institution, and to get connected with other incoming transfer students as well, because it's still a transition. Even though you've gone to college before, it's going to be different here versus somewhere else. And I mean, right now, no matter where you're at, it's going to be different this fall than what it had been in the past. So those will be great opportunities to connect with other folks, to learn about resources. We also have the Duck mentoring program for new students to come in, get connected with an upper level mentor, and within that you'll be a part of a group to build connections with a mentor group and just learn about a variety of things, ask questions that you may not know who else to ask it of. And your mentor will be there to provide some support and direction and guidance. And actually the Cruise to Success and Model T programs are also led by students. So they are the best resource for anyone who's coming in and just has questions about what the experience is like and how to make friends, and just how to connect with the campus community. And then beyond that, we have over 150 student organizations, all with hugely ranging topics of interest and focus. And so definitely checking those out on Victor's link. It is one of the best ways to build strong friendships, to fast track into leadership positions on campus, to ensure that the things you're passionate about, you're able to work toward during your time here at the university. And things like that too are what really helps prepare you for those next steps after college. I know, like, with folks coming in, it seems too early to think about, like, well, once I graduate, like, I'm going to be working, right? It's not too early. Like, you want to develop yourself, prepare yourself, get really exciting and cool experiences, and student organizations and taking on leadership positions on campus. They're both great ways to really take what you're learning in class and apply that into a setting that can be transferred into a future professional experience.
Oh, yeah, that's pretty awesome. I remember, actually, I applied to be a mentor too for Doug mentoring.
Awesome.
For my freshman year, I was one of the students that joined Doug mentoring, and my mentor Bree, she was pretty awesome. She like went above and beyond to help me adjust to like the whole college life. One of the student orgs that I was involved in is a Students Activities Board, SAB. And one, I think it was like Halloween, we went to Cedar Point.
Yep.
I've never been to Cedar Point before. It was like the scariest thing in my life. And
the best.
She actually went with me. So like, just from that experience, it's another way to like get out your comfort zone a little bit. Even if you're going to like SI sessions, supplementary instruction, it's just another way to just either like, you know, you get out, you reach help, but then again, you're also meeting new people at the same time. So that's
definitely.
Like, that's a good way to start building your social circle. And it may be a little easier since it's online. I'm not exactly sure, but it's pretty awesome.
And I think to that point, like, taking advantage of whenever faculty might have group projects that you have to work on. I know, like, everyone thinks, oh, crud, like, I have to work in this group to do this project. Someone's going to carry all of the weight. It doesn't have to be like that. I think you want to think about it as, like, when you get into a normal position, you're going to have to work together with people. And those experiences and the things that you're working on together are one of also the best ways to make long-term friendships. Some of my best friends were made through group projects in college. And so definitely taking a more positive frame of group projects, especially in this context of I want some more interpersonal interactions with other people that I may not otherwise know. And so just coming into some group projects like that with a different frame of thinking.
Oh yeah. And this is like my personal advice for incoming freshmen is like don't be afraid to say hi to random people. That's a strategy that I've done. It's just I've said hi to like random people, and some of them I've been like close friends in the next few months. So the word hi in itself, it could possibly start a friendship, and it could like that's a start right then and there. So yeah, there's many ways to get out there in the online community. Are you ready for our next question?
Yep.
Okay, where did I leave off? Okay. Some students may lack motivation when working in an online environment. What are some tips you believe may help keep a student motivated throughout the semester?
Yeah, so I think that's a struggle that students will always face is trying to prioritize school, stay motivated to focus on classes when instead they want to be working or participating in the student organizations that they've joined. And I think it will especially be the case now that we're going to be online for fall, but a little bit differently in why, I think. And so I think one of the most important things to remember is why you chose to pursue the degree that you're pursuing.
Right.
You might not necessarily be able to draw the clearest connection between the classes that you're in as a first year student on campus to what you want to do long term. Right. But just remembering that like each of those classes builds the foundation of what your professional career will look like. Right. And it may be difficult to say, yes, I remember like my intro to speech class and that has made me such a great professional in my overall job. But the things that will build from each of those different classes that you take will definitely lead you to be more successful in your future semesters and then be more successful at the end of your college career as you look for professional work. And I think too, just when you're at home and working on your schoolwork, going through the lectures, working on the actual assignments and things, take breaks. It's okay. It's important. You don't want to just sit down and go through it all in this like big binge of homework. That is not an effective way to learn.
That was me.
That is everyone, and it's not effective. It's unfortunate because it's the way that we all try to do it. We're like, I'm just going to sit down and power through it.
Right.
But at the end of the day, you're going to forget all of the things. And so take little chunks, work on one class at a time for 30 minutes, an hour, switch it up, go to something different, focus on something else. Because it's much easier when you're doing small bits and pieces to stay motivated. You don't get bored of it. You don't start falling asleep like I do when I'm sitting on my couch. Like, change it up a little bit. But also remember to be, not to be too hard on yourself. It's going to be hard because transitioning in any way, shape, or form is hard. And our whole global context right now is in transition and hard. And so just really be kind to yourself and take some breaks outside of just studying. Like go do something for your well-being. Go for a walk. Take some time to read. Pet your cat. My cat's sitting over here in case anyone was curious. But just do something to care for yourself as well. And then I think too, it's really easy to have distractions when you're at home. For family to not understand necessarily that you need to be studying or working on specific projects. And so have some pretty open conversations with whomever it is that you're living with and say, from this time to this time, I'm going to be studying or working on this thing. In order for me to be successful, this is what I need. Or finding a space in your house or outside that, until it gets cold, works well for you to be productive, that is maybe quiet if you need quiet for studying, and let your family know or whomever it is that you live with, that you need that time and space
Right.
for you to be successful. I know when I was a student, I was the first in my family, and my family often didn't know what it meant or why I would be studying so much. I wasn't doing it at home, and so it wasn't as much an issue.
Right.
But when I had like breaks and things, and I was needing to still do homework and such, they didn't understand why I was still working on projects or studying for exams. And so it will be even more important now to be really open with your family and try and walk them through what your experience as a student looks like right now, and how you can be successful and what you need to be successful. And for any folks who are first gen like I was, we have some great programming for first gen students to find other folks who are having that same experience, to celebrate that experience, get you connected, and inform you about all of the things that there are. And I would definitely suggest also to talk with myself, other staff on campus, the advisors, about how to have some conversations with your family on what it means to be successful.
Yeah.
Because that is a really difficult conversation. If your family didn't go through college, it's kind of an abstract idea to grasp and to understand what it takes and all that you're working through, especially now that you're online. And so really take that time and ask for some support from folks who know what it takes, who are here to support you. While we're all working online also, we are still available during all of the same hours we would have been in person. So leverage that, use us. We love interacting with students, and that is why we do what we do. And so if you need some help talking through any of these pieces, definitely reach out.
All right. Definitely. That was perfect. I remember usually, like, for me, like, my lack of motivation would come from me, like, stressing too much, or like you said, just trying to plow through everything.
Yeah.
And just don't do anything in like chunks, but just try to, I don't know, study for like 6 hours straight. That was something that I had an issue with. I was trying to get through everything and end up like kind of burning myself out a little bit. So later on, I had to start realizing that I need to take breaks, and self-care, in my opinion, is everything. Like, you have to take care of yourself in order to take care of your business.
100%.
So one like self-care tip that I have is I like to like sing in the mirror, or, like put on music, dance for like an hour, and then get back to studying.
Yes. Love it.
Another thing is, for me, I had to realize that it's okay to change my major. One major, the major I had before was behavioral and biological sciences, and now I'm a psychology major. I started to realize that chemistry, biology is not my thing. That's not my thing at all. So it's okay to like change your major, or just like I had a health track, I ended up dropping the health track. So it's okay to like get to know yourself. Like, you don't have to feel bad because you had your heart set on one major and then realize it's not really what you're into, and now you want to change it. So like, for any future freshmen out there coming into college, it's okay to change your major. In my opinion, I think it's like a rite of passage.
Yeah.
You're probably going to do it regardless, but after I realized that my stress level has been down, my motivations come up, and I've actually like enjoyed my major. So,
and I think along the same way of thinking, it's okay not to know what you want to study. Because to your point, like, so many people come in with one major in mind with no idea what you can even do with that major, and then they're like, actually, I really think this other thing is so much cooler and so much better. And so you'll either eventually change it, or you'll add a major or a minor. So if you don't know what to major in and you're coming in undecided, that is 100% okay. It just gives you a little bit more time to think and not have the pressure of having a major. And truthfully, a major is a slightly less large decision than it seems. many majors can take you in many directions.
Right.
And so it's not like this life-changing decision. Like, yeah, it sure could affect some early career decisions.
Yeah.
But once you get into your professional realm of whatever it might be, as long as you're good at what you do, you're going to be able to make it into whatever position you want. Clearly, there will be some exceptions, like being a doctor. That one would be a little bit different for sure. But overall, majors are important, but they are not the biggest decision of your life for any means.
It's not bad. It's not bad at all. Just take it one day at a time. That's what I like to say. For our next question, let's see, where is it? So the next question is, what resources are available in the Office of Student Life that will help students when transitioning to online classes? I think you mentioned this also too. Yeah,
so I would just re-emphasize the new student engagement programs that we have. So Cruise to Success and Model Transitions. Cruise is for incoming freshmen who've not been enrolled at another college. It would also be good for those who maybe went to early college and got some college credits while also in high school. And then Model T would be great for incoming transfer students. Duck mentoring, also great because it helps build that community. You can ask questions of your mentor. And then there are a variety of other resources on campus as well. So really using the library, they are so well equipped to support this transition. They have amazing librarians to talk you through how to use the online databases and access all of their resources. They do a number of great workshops. I actually led one for them last week on motivation and goal setting to help in transitioning as well. And so they're doing lots of cool programs to really help you through that transition. The START Advising Office is a great resource as well. Just talking with your advisor through some struggles that you might have or how to think about just anything in general that you're not sure what to think about. And really there's no stupid questions.
Right.
It is a whole new world. Like college is a whole new world to begin with. And like online with the pandemic, it's like the Little Mermaid. So, just a whole new world everywhere. So use those resources. Tutoring is still available. Really leverage that. You get to connect with an upper level student who has been especially successful in the classes that you're wanting some support in. It is free for all students. So really, please do take advantage of that. It is immensely helpful. Even if you just want help to make it from that A- to the A, use tutoring. Like, it is amazing. And supplemental instruction too. I don't know what that'll look like necessarily virtually, but supplemental instruction is so beneficial also. Students who participate in that are much more likely to do like a grade level higher in their courses.
Yeah, I've been to plenty different SI sessions, supplementary instruction, especially for my science classes because I didn't really I like science.
Yeah.
Sometimes they don't like me. So I would go to different SI sessions and some of the instructors would give like, not necessarily like last minute cram exam but it would just be like general review like 2 hours before your exam starts. So that would be a great advantage if you take any science classes or any other like humanities course. SI sessions, they're really lifesavers kind of, but they help you understand the material better, like get a deeper perception of it. So
definitely.
Yeah. So for our next question, in your opinion, how often do you think a student should meet with their advisor, in your opinion?
Yeah. So I think advisors are some of the most important people on campus. As a student, you should at least meet with them once a semester to plan out how or what classes you should take for the following semester and to discuss how you did in the semester that you would be like in at that moment. So not actually at the moment, but so say we're in fall semester planning for winter, as we're getting toward registration time, talking through just how the classes are going, and mapping out what your next year or so of classes should look like to make sure that you're on track to graduate on time. And so at least once a semester to pick out classes and ensure that you're on track. But I think too, it's really beneficial to go more than that as well. They can help you really think and readjust as you might have a change in plans. Maybe you've mapped out a year of classes and you're like, nope, I actually want to change my major. The advisors are there to help you through that and remap it out to make sure that you're still able to graduate on as close to the timeline that you had originally set as possible. They can help you think through just advantages of certain classes over others. And say you have a rough semester with all of these crazy things happening right now, it's possible you'll have a rough class. And if that happens, the advisors are there to help you.
Yes.
You get a grade back at the end of the semester and it's, say, a D or an E. You don't know what to do. It's the first time you've gotten such a grade. That can be like heartbreaking, but it doesn't have to be the end at all. Like, it's okay.
Yeah.
Everyone has a rough semester. Don't stress. Go to your advisor. The advisor can help you plan out if you should retake the course, when you should retake the course, if it matters much. It's possible that the course, a D, is technically passing if it doesn't impact scholarships and things like that. Maybe you just move on and call it a day or a semester and say, we've got this when we move to a different subject. Or it's how to retake that class in a more successful way. If it is something that's really critical for your career trajectory or your major. So yeah, never be afraid to reach out to your advisors too much. It's almost impossible to meet with them too much. Weekly might be overkill, but they are there to help talk through success strategies and just to make you successful overall.
Yeah, my advisors, they have like helped me with life decisions. Okay, they have kept me from like making different mistakes. Like my second semester of my freshman year, I was gonna take like all psychology classes. And my advisor's like, wait a minute, I don't think you should do that because they're very they have a lot of coursework. They're very like deep in papers and different assets. And I said, okay, maybe I was kind of jumping the gun a little bit. So they've helped me a lot.
Yeah.
Advisors are pretty awesome too. I like how
really
honest they are. They're not necessarily sugarcoating it. Well, they sugarcoat it a little bit, but they're still truthful and they're still willing to help. Even if one class, I had a class where I feel like I wasn't doing well in it, and already I went to my advisor saying, I may not do well in this class. What are my options? Do I need this class? Turns out I didn't really need the class for the major, so I'm just going to take a different class. But
Nice.
Advisors are they're pretty awesome people.
Yeah, they are just so immensely important.
Yes, they are. So moving on to our next question. Are there any upcoming workshops, programs for the fall semester that would help with student engagement?
Yeah, so we have historically had a 1-day-long conference for student organization leaders called SOLID. We have clearly had to readjust a little bit because that was in person. And so we've 100% revamped it and are super excited about what it's going to be. Still working on some of the internal logistics and the curriculum and all of the exciting pieces, but we know what it will be. So we're rebranding it as Fuel, which is to fuel you up as leaders and to engage others. And so we'll be working with our organization leadership to better engage incoming students, to prepare them to lead effective organizations, especially through virtual offerings. And so we are very excited about this new track. The student participants will be able to be recognized for the levels of leadership that they achieve through the program. They'll work through it throughout the entirety of the year. And it will be available to more than just presidents and treasurers of organizations. It'll be open to anyone who wants to participate for most of it.
Oh, wow.
So you can really hone in on your leadership skills. You can be recognized as a gold or a bronze level leader. Still working through those names. Don't quote me on those two. But we are working on it, and it will be so exciting. And we're super stoked to roll that out. And so I think through that, all of the student organizations will be much more well equipped to enhance the community that students are joining into in a virtual, digital format, which our world was before, but not quite to this level.
I know. Oh my gosh. It's something else.
It is.
Else. But that sounds very interesting. It sounds very helpful. Might have to check that out in the future.
You definitely should. It will be super exciting.
Oh my gosh. So that's in the fall semester, right? Or
Yep. So we'll be launching it in August. So that way the student org leadership will be prepared with some of the essentials that they have to know. But then we'll continually roll out new material and new trainings and modules around leadership development to support those leaders in growing and to allow other students, other Dearborn Wolverines who want to just enhance their leadership skills and maybe who want to learn what it takes to take on a president level role or a public relations chair role in a student organization or to become like a duck mentor. So that way they've really honed in on some of these skills and feel confident in leading other people.
I'm definitely checking that out in August. Moving on to our next question. It says, student organizations play a major role in student engagement. During these times where the university is transitioning to an online environment, do you think student engagement with student orgs will increase, decrease, stay the same?
Yeah, so there's no guarantees for sure. It's hard to predict because just like incoming students are transitioning, student leaders who lead these organizations are transitioning too. And it's hard to say what their experiences are looking like.
Yeah.
But I can say that I'm very hopeful and optimistic that student through organizations will increase. Something that we noticed as we've started providing more online offerings is that it's more accessible to students. For folks who maybe couldn't normally attend a 3:00 meeting on Wednesdays because it was on campus and maybe they had work or they didn't have class that day and there was no point in driving to campus for an hour, through an online digital offering, anyone can tune in from anywhere at any time as long as they're not like in class or working specifically or whatever it might be. And so like I had mentioned through Fuel, we are very energetic about being able to better equip student organizations to further engage their membership, to enhance community, and for growing the connections that other students have. And so I really do think that the ability for students to engage will only be increased and enhanced.
Right. For our last... Oh, no, this is not the last. This is second to last. This is kind of reflecting off of question 8 a little bit. What actions are the Office of Student Life taking to make sure that student engagement does not decrease in the fall semester?
Yeah, so like I mentioned, we're doing quite a few things. So we've got the Fuel program almost ready to go. We also have been working with orientation and a variety of other offices on campus to rethink Go Blue orientation and convocation, as well as how we might make Welcome Week just as exciting as normal, even though we can't have like bounce houses and like games. We're still going to make it exciting and fun to welcome new folks to campus and celebrate becoming Wolverines. We'll have really great sessions. And so our team, as well as many other teams across campus, are working to really make sure that the Wolverine experience is what it has always been, if not even more exciting. And so I think too, making sure that folks who are coming in get connected with a student org or two. we're going to have some virtual organization fairs. We'll be hoping to get organizations to create little videos of what it is that they do, what they stand for, why you should join them, so that way you can explore at any time what each organization is. To then say, hey, you know what, I want to join Swing Dearborn, who they are the coolest organization. There are lots of cool organizations, but they are so cool. They have grown, like they have meetings of 75 students per week or each time of just learning swing dance and dancing.
Yeah.
Clearly they can't do that in person,
Right.
but for folks who maybe wouldn't have otherwise been able to make it, I imagine that they're going to be doing some streaming, teaching some lessons online. And so what a cool way to spend an hour once a week or once a month to learn swing dance and be able to then, once everyone's back on campus, get to join up with everyone else who would have normally been doing it and swing. How cool is that? And then I think too, just really taking advantage of the new student engagement programming. They are great ways to build strong connections with other folks. Cruise to Success has been around for a number of years, and folks who've taken it have really met some of their college-long friendships. It's only been around like 4 or 5 years, so I can't say lifelong because it's only been 4 or 5 years. But the connections that folks make through that, through duck mentoring, through Model T, really do last throughout the entirety of the college experience. Because connections that you make by learning together, learning about one another, and experiencing challenges and joys together are going to be really deep friendships. And all of those things are what you'll experience through Cruise, Model T, and Duck.
That's cool. That is good. All right. So for our last question, closing out, overall, what advice do you have for incoming freshmen who are transitioning to online classes?
Yeah. So I think, like I sort of mentioned before, don't be afraid to ask questions. There is no stupid question. If some major life event happens also,
Right.
don't be afraid to ask for support. Don't be afraid to say, hey, this thing happened. I really am not able to meet this deadline. Is there any way to get some sort of accommodation to have a small extension? Don't expect it, but it never hurts to ask if you ask it in the right way. Always be professional in how you approach it in an email of, hi, Professor so-and-so, XYZ has happened. I'm afraid that I won't be able to meet this deadline. Is there some way that I could have a small extension to X date, or just a small extension? I think faculty right now are going to be pretty understanding because, I mean, just all of life at the moment is very unpredictable. Hence why we are mostly online. And so not being afraid to seek that support, ask questions, and it's okay to be a little bit vulnerable with faculty, with your advisor. Just be honest and upfront with them. It can be difficult to talk about some of the experiences that you might be having, but it's hard for your advisor or your professor to really support you if they don't know what you're going through.
Okay. Well, thanks, Tyler.
Of course.
To have you for today.
It was a pleasure being here.
Thank you. Thank you for answering all the awesome questions that the freshmen may have, incoming questions and everything. So we'll see you later.
See you.
And see you later. All right, everybody. That was it for today. My name is Kayla Higgins. Once again, I am a sophomore with a major in psychology and a minor in Hispanic studies. And don't stress out too much. Freshman year of college is not too bad. It's not as bad as everybody may think it is. The transition is pretty smooth. So that was all for today, and I hope everybody have a great summer and a great rest of their day.